Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me today is 𝗤𝙗 𝗍𝗫 as we take a look at our favorite neighbor Pakistan, as well as what Iran is going to do following the attack. They have been carefully calibrating it. What we don't know, we are going to know after we listen to 𝗤𝙗 𝗍𝗫. Before we go and talk to him, let's first please like this video so that we have the maximum chance of it going viral. 𝗤𝙗 ji, Namaskar, Ram Ram, Radhe Radhe. How are you, sir?
Jai Sri Ram, Radhe Radhe, all Kushal and Mangal by the kripa of Lord Mahakal and your Ashirwad. Namaskaram to you and all the viewers, and thank you very much for having me on the show.
Sir, the floor is yours because we have been doing a lot of, this is leg 3 of our triple header in the evening today. So I leave the floor to you because lots of stuff to cover. Over to you.
Okay. Sir, in the name of Bhagwan Sri Ganesha, let's do the Sri Ganesha of today's vlog. The first thing I want to start this with is to like, share and subscribe the video. And I had promised, yesterday was in this JD summit in Jaipur, and I met a lot of people who are regular watchers of PGuru channel. They all met me, we had taken pictures, and they all sent their greetings to you, Sri sir. And I promised them whenever I am next, I'm going to mention all of you and I'm going to thank you, or I thank them on our behalf. And I said, when I am live, I'll make sure that me and Mr. Iyer thanks you for all the love and support you're getting. Phenomenal
Thank you
people.
so much.
Some of them were from Maldives, some of them were not Maldives, Mauritius, Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, Solomon Islands. We're all, and they all know us. They all know you, and they think we are doing a fantastic work.
Very, very touching. Thank you so much.
I took this opportunity to thank them on the behalf of the team, and I should make sure the next day I'm live, I'm going to mention all of you. And again, from this PGurus platform which you are watching, thank you very much to all. Your love means a world to us. Namaskar. So on that note, let's start, sir. Now, we have 3-4 things to cover before we go to the Q&A. First is Khamenei's whole puzzle. We are going to decode that. Then we have Iran cops killed. Then we have Pakistan failing to worsen. And we have one more important piece of information to share, which we'll share in due course of time. Because today we don't have a very elaborate session. We have, after this, we are asked 𝗤𝙗, wherein you can ask your questions. Look, what happened in the attack on Iran? And it's almost 48 hours. Iran has not retaliated. 3 things are out in the market. Grapevine, yeah? Market is not stock market, is grapevine. The grapevine says there are 3 things. First thing is, Khamenei is believed, assumed or presumed to be suffering from a cancer. Now, this can be real or this can be even engineered. Why? Because they might say, oh, this man is already dying. Why do you want to kill a dying man? He's anyway going to die because of cancer. Oh, why do you want to kill a dying man? Why do you want to get your heart stuck? He's going to die. And why is this cancer suddenly come up when it is a time for Iran's retaliation? This could have come up before. If it was in critical stage 3, he should be on a ventilator, not deciding which missile to send. That's point number 1. Point number 2 says that, look, this all attack by Israel was a provocation to Iran. Israel did a very limited targeted attack, was a provocation to Iran. So Iran had threatened everything. If you do the attack, we will attack your nuclear arsenal, we'll attack your dams, we'll attack your water supplies, we'll attack your electric stations. They have threatened Israel and the whole world with everything. Now, it's a provocation. What are you going to do, Mr. Khamenei, next? And well, while we have reported to you that Israel has only 400 ballistic missiles left, they don't have a lot of options. Navy is dysfunctional, Air Force doesn't have planes, and Army cannot cross over. So with all these things, they are putting the heat back on Khamenei's chair. What are you going to do, Mr. Khamenei? We have attacked you, now what? What does Israel want? Israel wants you to retaliate unproportionately. And if you retaliate unproportionately or widen the scope of the war, that is disproportionately, that is exactly what Israel will be looking forward to. Because if that is done, there are no agreements which are valid with the US and any part of the world. So Israel will have a free run to eliminate you. That's the point number 2. Point number 3, it is also believed that, Iran is preparing something big. And this all story about cancer, retaliation, peace talks and all, this is all BS. They are trying to prepare for something big. And today, the news which has hit us is that Khamenei has given a green light to IRGC, that is Islamic Revolutionary Guard, to take whatever steps it can. Now, the question you will ask me, what are the options? That is the most legitimate question which must be on your minds. Well, the options are 2. One option is IRGC does it direct. Through rockets, through tanks, submarines, they have options. How much viable they are, that's a different question altogether, but they have options. Can IRGC do a direct strike? Or what you can do is you can use your proxies to do the strike, right? And this was always in my mind. And yesterday, you must have all seen there was a terrorist attack within Israel wherein a bus was rammed into the people who were standing on a bus stop. A lot of people, unfortunately, got killed. So IRGC has two options. Now, IRGC, one is a direct attack, which doesn't yield them any results. With 400 ballistic missiles left, they don't have a lot to do. Second is a kind of a terrorist attack within the Israel. You know, there are these Arab-dominated neighborhoods. And what I reported to you last time, there have been people who have been arrested from Haifa. There are people who have been arrested from these Jerusalem neighborhoods, which were believed to be spying for Iran against Israel. And the plan even included assassination of some prominent mayors and nuclear scientists of Israel. That was a plan which I've discussed that. So who did this terror attack? Who were the people behind it? Obviously, there was somebody within Israel who did this attack. So IDF is not talking much on it. Mossad is not talking much on it. So we don't know. But I'm very sure they know who did it. So that's the point number 3, what they can do. Or 3B option is activate proxies and work and do a strike with them and do a deadly strike. If you do a deadly strike, what will happen is Iran will say, I never did it. It is the Hezbollah who did it, or it is Islamic Jihad or XYZ Jihad who did it. We never did anything. I mean, so the retaliation will come on those tin ducks or that cannon fodder. Retaliation will not come on Iran. That will give Iran some time to catch up, build its arsenal, and then see what to do. Now, with this is something which has been happening. Now, between Saturday and today, that is Monday, in last 48 hours, one more important development has come, which is baffling Iran. Now, Iran, on Saturday, after the attack by Israel, there were 10 cops of Iran, which got killed in an ambush. Again, that 𝗤𝙭 and Balochistan area, which is bordering Pakistan, they got killed. There are 10 of them. First of all, there was no confirmation for that, but today they have confirmed, yes, the 10 cops have got eliminated. The organization which did it is 𝗤𝙑, or there is now a new organization which has come up now called 𝗤𝙑. So Zulum is a very Hindi Urdu word. Zulum is not a Persian word or Arabic word. So basically that means these are Sunni organizations which are attacking Iranian troops in this 𝗤𝙭 and Balochistan area. Now, is this 𝗤𝙑 Zulum or 𝗤𝙑? Now, Iran says we have arrested 4 terrorists. And rest we are still working out for, we are looking out for. We don't know where are they from. Now, there is a communique which kind of hints to it as 𝗤𝙑. Now, the question is, who is this 𝗤𝙑? 𝗤𝙑 seems to be a Sunni organization, seems to be a Pakistani-based organization. Now, the challenge here is, what is Pakistani-based organization? What is ISI-funded organization killing Iranian cops? What is ISI's interest in getting Iranian cops eliminated? It's a very interesting turn in the scheme of things. And in the meanwhile, we also know that tomorrow, Mossad head, CIA head, and some guys from America again coming. They're meeting in Qatar. I think Mr. 𝗂𝗎𝗓 is again coming. They are trying to work out some kind of a peace deal. Now, Blinken says they're not coming. There's a correction here. Blinken was supposed to come. He has decided not to come. Now, we are talking of peace. We are talking of Khamenei giving a green light to retaliate. And at the same time, we are talking of one more interesting development. That is, Iraq, today registered a protest with UNSC, United Nations General Assembly, and said, look, my airspace has been violated by Israel in attacking Iran. Now, we know the planes flew over Jordan, planes also flew over Iraq. Now, the question which you will ask me, why now and what is happening now? Is it because they are fearing that the Iran is going to retaliate by option 3C? What is option 3C? Option 3C is, I don't touch Israel at all. I exactly turn the tables. What does it mean? I exactly do what Israel does to me. I hit Israel, they hit Lebanon. By the way, bombardment of Lebanon is continuing. One more city, I can't recall the name, it's not on the top of my mind, got even bombarded through the last night. The attack and assault on Lebanon is continuing. What they can do? Let me go and strike a few oil fields of Saudis. Let me disrupt some things in the Red Sea. Let me disrupt a couple of things for UAE. Let me disrupt a couple of things for Jordan. Let me disrupt a couple of things for all Sunni countries in the Middle East. So Iran, I hit you, you hit Lebanon, Shia neighborhoods. So Israel, rather than hitting you, why don't I hit these people? When I hit these people, they will go crying to America. America will have 2 options, either to walk into the war or to do something to stop this war. This is exactly what I want. So I will use your strategy against you and not attack you directly. So when he says all the options are open, so these 3 options, 1, 2, and option 3A, 3B, 3C, I explained to you, these are the options which are open for them. Right? These are the options which they can possibly do. Now we have to wait and watch what is happening. But the baffling part is who is killing Iranian cops in Sinjan Balchistan, and what is 𝗤𝙪 got to do with it, and why is ISI supporting them? What is the interest of ISI here? And what the hell is happening? Because Pakistan says I'm going to support Iran. Now, what is exactly happening here, and will Iran retaliate on Pakistan? Because if I count the numbers, there are around 17, 18 of their cops which have been killed by Pakistan supported groups in Sinjan Balchistan. So it's a very interesting turn of events. Now, as I told you, today these Iranis confirmed, yes, our cops got killed. There was an ambush and they got killed. We have arrested 4 terrorists. Now, again, Iran is not saying are they local terrorists or are they Pakistanis. We don't know that. I hope they are Pakistanis, because that will be an interesting tail spin to the turn of events. That is something which is happening here. Now, if I talk about, so this is basically what is happening in Israel. This is what is happening in Iran, the ambush in Pakistan, IRGC is planning for war, Khamenei has given a green light, and I have told you all the possible options and scenarios which they can create. Now, there is one player I want to specifically keep your eye on. There is one person who is behind the scenes. There are 2 people which are today, right? Now, these people are now in conflicting places. Barack Hussein Obama or Barakat Hussein Obama sent Anthony Blinken to stop the war. And when Anthony Blinken was in a plane, they sent the rockets to Iran. Exactly when he was in the plane. So whatever Anthony Blinken is trying to do, that is not working on the ground. That is why he's not coming to this meeting, which is supposed to happen in Qatar. Now, the important element here to be watched out is China. Because China wants this Iran-American-Israeli conflict to happen, because that keeps their interest at bay in Taiwan Straits. So what is China going to do? How are they going to support Iran? What are the weapons they will smuggle to Iran? How many weapons will be routed from North Korea, Pakistan, Iran, China into then these Hezbollahs of the world, and all that is to be seen. In the meanwhile, there's one more news coming from North Korea. North Korea now officially says, we will have our troops fight along with Russians in Ukraine. So you have a complete axis forming out. North Korea, China, Pakistan. Just a second, sir. North Korea, China, Pakistan. Then you have Iran. So this nexus is almost complete. You wanted to make a point, Sachin.
Yeah, a couple of things. One is that at least 1,000 North Korean soldiers have come to Russia to fight the war on behalf of Russia. But I'm also hearing a lot of desertions from there. They're just running away because they're saying freedom, freedom, freedom.
By the way, one top nuclear scientist of North Korea is believed to be in Ukraine. So if somebody is listening to this, you know what to do next. Topmost nuclear scientist wearing a military attire of North Korea is in Ukraine. If the American CIA, whoever is listening to you, you know what to do next. I'm very sure you know it better than me, but this is an opportunity. Liberate them completely.
And I have one more map to show viewers some idea of what are the options in front of US and Israel should Iran decide to strike at other countries. Can we bring up things? So viewers, this is the Strait of Hormuz. Okay. And you can, zoom out. Thank you so much. This is the Strait of Hormuz. And you can see Dubai is at the very tip there. And now let us zoom back in. We are going to take you to 𝗂𝘅 Island terminal, from where 95% of Iran's oil flows. 𝗂𝘅 Island. Okay. See, this is Iran's own thing. Now let's zoom out just a little bit, please. A little bit more. Zoom out, please. Zoom out. I want to see Dubai and the other one. Yeah, right there. Kuwait and things. Okay, excellent. Now, just use your mouse to circle this area from Basra to Kuwait to 𝗂𝘅 Island. Circle this circle. Basra to Kuwait to 𝗂𝘅 Island. This entire circle, right? That is where most of the oil of all these countries is. That is where most of the oil fields are, whether it is Kuwait or Iraq or Iran. And see, what it means is that if US stations its Aegis and THAAD missiles inside the Hormuz Strait, they can intercept anything coming across from Iran. They would have to launch it from not Iran, but somewhere else. My 2 cents. And if that somewhere else is, say, Lebanon or Syria, Israel will be watching that. So whichever way they look at it, I think Iran should think twice before putting out attempts to go and unnecessarily poke its own Islamic brothers and sisters. It's this is not going to end well for Iran. My 2 cents.
Sir, what you are saying makes a lot of logical sense, because Americans have a plan in place, and this is going to be the last and fatal mistake of Iran, even if they attempt to do this. Now, what is important here is that there is one more development which has just come in. I was looking through the notes. It is believed a lot of Houthis have started rushing to the Saudi border. Now, again, it was a part what we are exactly discussing. Last time also, oil fields of Saudi Arabia were attacked by Houthis, and Aramco had a 5% dip in the oil, and the majority of the oil, majority of the stakeholders in Aramco, it is 51 is Americans, or 41 is Saudis, 49 is Americans. So Aramco is not a Saudi company; it is 50% or 49%. It's an American company as well. So I think something these Houthis are planning, because a lot of Houthis have been seen near the Saudi border. What the reports are coming in fresh as we talk is that there has been a lot of mortar fire and gunfire on them. So we don't know what happened. It's a breaking story. It's yet to confirm how do the things shape up from here. So this is exactly what we have been talking a few minutes back. Attacking the neighboring countries and disrupting their oil supplies is always an option. And as I thought that Khamenei doesn't have a lot of teeth to attack himself, he might use all these disposable jihadis to do the dirty work. So that is a strong possibility which has emerged now. So this is about something breaking, wanted to bring to your notice. Now there are two more things we want to talk about Pakistan. One thing which is very tricky is that today we came to know that Pakistan's ex-Prime Minister Imran Khan Niazi is in a jail, and in that jail anybody can come and visit him. Though initially all the visitors were not supposed to visit Imran because you could not meet anybody. Hardly the doctors and all were kept. Even people said that he has lost weight, he has lost hair, all those things. Now suddenly today, before Bushra Bibi is let go, we covered that. Now today everybody and anybody can meet Imran Khan, even his lawyers, doctors, his followers, his chamchas, all these party men and all can meet Imran Khan. Now I was curious, this didn't sound logical to me. I said, what the hell is happening? Is Pakistan changing? Well, one thing I can be sure about Pakistan is that Pakistan never disappoints you, and they can never change. What my sources are telling me, what they have been always telling me, is, Sumit bhai, there's a possibility that he has been poisoned. He has been put on a slow poison, and the poison is taking its shape. And when the poison is taking its shape, the wife is released, and suddenly you're letting everybody and anybody and go meet Imran Khan, because now when the poison will start doing the job, and if he passes away in a few months, they say, oh, we don't know, everybody was coming, meeting him, he looked all hale and hearty.
Oh, they'll release him too. They
might release him too now, because this is always an assumption after the poison has set in. Let's say you start giving somebody a slow poison, it takes 3 months to set in. After 4 months, it cannot be reversed. So maybe they have reached that 4-month kind of a state. I'm assuming, I don't know what is the cycle. If you're at that 4-month kind of a state, then you let people come and meet him first. It's all leti, 𝗣𝗧𝗏 𝗧𝙠, 𝗤𝑺 khā rahe. Everything is good. He's eating, footing his dance. And then slowly wife is left. Then eventually, once Imran Khan passes away, we say, I don't know what happened. Old age, God's grace, he was old. Anyway, he's in mid-70s. So something happened. Poor chap died, whatever. So you can do a very clean biological murder, chemical weapon murder, and not be caught. So this darya dili, what we say in Hindi, or this open-heartedness, this loin-heartedness of Pakistani ISI is because of this. And let me also bring your notice again, in J&K, their IC alarm. This has nothing to do with the topic, but I want to bring it up. Our attacks on our security forces are increasing. I think there's an encounter going on somewhere in Aknoor. I think all the 3 terrorists have been neutralized. There was one more encounter going somewhere in the Kashmir Valley. So if you see the number of incidents of violence after Umar Abdullah has taken over the chief minister of J&K, Union Territory of J&K, has increased. So we are every day seeing ambushes, attacks, and terrorists getting neutralized, which is a good thing. But suddenly there's a spike of violence. Why there is a spike of violence? Does this election suit the state? Should this be put back to UT, and should again Manoj Sinha be put in the helm of affairs and controlling the whole things? That is a very, very valid question, because what we were taking pride of, that the terrorist violence is done, down, and attacks on security forces are all time down. But suddenly I'm seeing a spike, and I'm seeing now a professional attack, sir. These kind of attacks are not amateur terrorist attacks, because I have been following their terrorist violence and patterns for decades now. It doesn't look to be that. It's a very pointed attack. It's a very, very pointed attack. And let's not forget, friends, we have reported that there were around 50 or more than that people, which in teams of 3 each, they have been put across, they have infiltrated and put in these areas of Jammu and elsewhere. And at the right point of time, the batches of 3, they will be taken out. So even if you eliminate 3, there's another batch of 3. Like this, you have 10 to 15 batches, which are ex-SSG and ex, or these Pakistan bad team commandos, which are disguised as jihadis, and they are exactly being sent to do the job. Because if you look at the hit on our army, and if you look at the things happening, this is something is worrying. I think we have eliminated 3-4 teams, but in my knowledge, there are around 3-4-5 teams which might be still operational, and they might be trying to bring them up. And where is this happening? Akhnur is very, very near to the international border. Again, the strategy is same: activate the international border. So that is what is happening. That's a word of caution here. I think I presume the government of India and the authorities are well in control. They know what is happening, and the appropriate steps will be taken. This is another aspect I wanted to bring to you. Now, what I left in between was this Iraqi thing. Now, Iraq registered a protest saying, "Oh, Israel used our airspace, it's a violation, XYZ, oh, this should not be done." But now the question will ask me why it is possible. What was the Iraq's air defense doing? They don't have air defense, first of all. Now, Iraq says currently the air defense of Iraq is controlled by Americans. So Americans chose to let Israelis go. So it's an interesting thing. I am the president or the prime minister of Iran, but I compliment Americans for that. That is exactly how you run Middle East. That's exactly how you run Middle East. So there is a Iraqi president or prime minister, but he doesn't control the defense of Iraq. He doesn't control the airspace of Iraq. It's controlled by Americans. So Americans will decide which F-35 to pass and which not to pass. By the way, they also flew over Jordan. We don't know who controls the airspace of Jordan. I believe it's King Abdullah, but I don't know. Maybe they will just surprise and say, "Oh, America's even controlling that." It will be an interesting aspect to see. But I think they have registered a protest. Oh, this is happening. We protest, and UN is as good as is as good as my what do I say? Is my school geometry box, which has an antique value, but is dysfunctional for me in all the aspects. So good luck with Iraq, with the UN. I think you're only making right noises for the news. One more aspect I want to cover. So Imran Khan was very important. This J&K was very important. And this along the international border, around the Jammu area, is very, very important. Now, one thing which we have to cover again, because I think we're already, oh my God, we are running into 23 minutes. Sorry. 5 minutes I'm over. I was supposed to finish in 15, but there's one important aspect I want to cover. Friends, what we come to know is that there has been a rating which has been out, and which has described Pakistan as the 3rd worst country in the world. Is a global rating which, in terms of law and order, safety, and the rule of law which prevails in the country. So Nigeria, and there's one more country which is below that, or maybe Afghanistan.
Somalia, probably.
So Nigeria and Somalia. So Pakistan is in top 3 position, but niche se, from the bottom. The worst country in the law and order, it has dipped to number 3 in the world. You can imagine the plight and the state of life in Pakistan. Having said that, Pakistanis have again written to IMF and said, "Thoda paisa de do, you kindly give us some money." So this is the plight of state of things in Pakistan. And if China thinks they can control Pakistan, and if China thinks they can control the lives of their engineers, they can save the lives of their engineers, that's not going to happen. Because whatever you do, you can inaugurate an airport from Islamabad, Mr. Chinese Premier. But if you think you can fly planes there, too far off. You think you can have your pilots come there, too far off. Yes, unless and until you send PLA with the guns and cannons. But that will be a different call. That will lead to the oyster of even Mullah Munir if he tries to give a permission to that. So that's not going to happen. So with this situation, now Pakistan, I want to ask a question. If this is the situation which the international rating agencies have rated Pakistan in the bottom 3, how do we assume, presume, and believe that Pakistan is not out of, how is Pakistan out of FATF? Why Pakistan should not be in FATF blacklist, forget the grey list? Second question is here. Is IMF giving the money to the right hands? Third question is here. 𝗤𝙑𝙤𝙪, 𝗤𝙪 𝗤𝙪, 𝗤𝙪, all these nefarious terrorist organizations, which are Sunni by nature, are only originating from Pakistan. Is Pakistan breeding terror at an industrial level? Because every 2 days I come to know of a new terrorist organization. It is like, dal makhni, dal fry, dal bhindi, it's like the flavors of dal and sambar. So even we don't have so many flavors in dal and sambar, they have terrorists. Every day a new terrorist organization is coming, and it's as lethal as the old ones. So what the hell is happening in Pakistan? What is happening? And the inflation and all are out of the reach of the common man. And my worrying part is, let whatever happens in Pakistan is okay. What kind of terror is being sent to Jammu? What kind of terror is being sent to South Kashmir? I see South Kashmir getting active again. I see Jammu side getting active again, which is an area of my concern. And I hope that somebody is taking a note of it, because that is what is worrying me. Even last time we lost 2 soldiers and 2 porters who were helping the army. I think we had a couple of injuries more. 3 terrorists have been neutralized. But things don't look to be okay. Things don't look to be okay. So what is happening? And these are the people in Pakistan who wanted us to get them into BRICS. These are the people in Pakistan where we do SEO with. And these are the people in Pakistan who talk of development and prosperity and talk of the global world. Well, I don't know. I mean, kudos to Dr. Jaishankar when he's sitting in a room and you have China on one side, you have Pakistan on one side, and you have Iran on one side, and you are trying to talk diplomacy with them. You really need to be a man of intellect, because imagine these 3 sitting in front of you and you're talking peace and diplomacy to all of them. It's not an easy job. It's one of the most difficult jobs in the world. But that is the reality of the world we live in. And I have been also talking about those tunnels, which I talked to you in Sargodha. The tunnels in Sargodha are again active. The work has not halted. The work is going on in the full swing. And we don't know what they're braving with China. We really don't know we have not been able to do a series on China, because yesterday I've been traveling, and last one odd week, because there have been a lot of developments in Iran. So we did not do it. But hopefully this Sunday, if there's nothing major happening in the world, we'll go back to China. There's a lot of China which is happening. If you ask me, sir, I am worried. I don't know what is happening. I don't know what is Pakistan brewing, and I don't know what is happening in the whole world. It's an uneasy calm. If you ask me, has Middle East settled? It's an uneasy calm in the Middle East, because after all the humiliation Iran had, if they don't do anything, they are doomed. If they do everything or anything, they are again doomed. So it's a situation between pan and fire. Whichever way you go, you will have problems. Whichever you will get, you will have trouble. But Khamenei is up to something. I can tell you, understanding the man and seeing his body language, he's up to something. And let me tell you again, my hunch says he has no cancer. He's hale and hearty. There's all BS which is being floated around. He has cancer, he's about to die. Nothing like that is going to happen. But the only part where I don't have an answer, where I have to do a lot of hard work, is why ISI is getting Irani soldiers killed in Sinjan, Balochistan. That I don't know. Who is paying them? What are the reasons? What is the bigger game? I still have to figure out that. But I'll keep getting my notes cross-checked and getting my source pinged again and try to find it. Imran Khan was quite easy. I know what they're up to. Possibly. But the Sinjan, Balochistan, I have no idea. And where are these everyday new organizations coming up? And what the hell is happening? This is something which is baffling us. But let's see what happens. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Ji.
Thank you so much, Sumit. A couple of things before we go to Q&A. One is that we are selling this packs of 5 Marigold brooches. These are 5 brooches in here. And to remember all the fallen Indian soldiers who fought for the British in World Wars I and II. And we are continuing a series of topics on this one. I actually talked about what happened to my grandfather, and when Subhash Chandra Bose surfaced from a submarine on the high seas. It's a very interesting story that came today morning in India time. When you get a chance, do watch that one. And if you can, please buy these things and wear it, so your children can tell the story of how India fought for the British. Thousands died, especially in the First World War. They were the first one thrown to the front. The British were still training their own troops. And the Marigold is available only for US. I apologize that we are not able to make it available for all the countries. Maybe next year we may be able to do it. This year we are still trying to not lose money on this. So if you happen to be in the United States, do get your own set of Marigold brooches. It's beautiful. You've seen me wear it. Now, one last thing before we go into Q&A. Sumiji, you mentioned about people from Mauritius, Maldives, and Australia, and other New Zealand following PGurus. Also, must tell you that I was in a conference in Trinidad and Tobago. That time, I think our viewership was around 100,000 subscribers, not more than that. And there, you see, there's a big Indian origin population. They were sent there, they were brought there to work in the sugar plantations by the East India Company, 1840s, East India Company. So where do you find them? You find them in Trinidad and Tobago, you find them in Suriname, you find them in Guyana. Then I think there are two Guyanas, French and British Guyana or something like that. You will find them all over there. And also in many of the islands that now are probably part of what is called as the West Indies cricket team. The Bahama Island, all those little islands. So there's a fair amount of Indian presence there also. And to a person, they all came up to me and said that, sir, we follow PGurus. And this is when we were much smaller. So it's very heartening to note that you all look to us for information. We try to be as accurate as possible. Sometimes you are a little bit late because we want to make sure that we have the news confirmed from more than one reliable source. So thank you all for your support. Now let's go to Q&A. If you have not already liked this video, please like this video because we could do with more likes. Let's go to Q&A.
Sir, adding on to what you said, the gentlemen we met, there were around 3 or 5 gentlemen who had come from Trinidad. So I remember now. West Indies, I met. Fiji, I met. Solomon Islands, I met. So it was a full scale. And I mean, America, Australia, Canada, there were a lot of people. But I'm talking about those small countries. And I must tell you, when I looked at them and their set of beliefs, I had a good talk with all of them. I think they are more Sanatanis than you and me. So that made us feel really so strong because they live in that part of the world, but their culture, their Sanatan beliefs and their, that value system is so intact. It made me really proud. Really proud.
Sumit ji, aap ye keh rahe hain, I've already said it once before. When I was in college in Colorado State University, the younger brother of the then Prime Minister of Guyana, Cheddi Jagan, his younger brother had come there to do studies. He was a postdoctoral researcher or something. Very educated. Indian community in all these countries, very educated. Some of them also migrate to Canada because Canada is one place that you can migrate to from there. And he knew his Vedas and his Upanishads. The best arguments, you wouldn't believe this, Sumit ji. The best arguments about Sanatana Dharma and its ideals used to be between one Maltese American woman and this gentleman from Guyana, and all of us from India. What is going on? It's just mind-blowing. Let's go to Q&A, please. Magnet Ranga wants to know, do the economically strapped Bangladesh and Pakistanis have the ability to take on Bharat even with support from China? Also, given how Chinese arms have worked in Iran.
Sir, it's not a question of winning or losing a war. When you are a nuclear triad, nobody can defeat you. But they want to disrupt you. They want to disrupt your life's economy and cause you maximum damage and pull you 30, 40 years back in time. And that is exactly what is going to happen. And let me tell you, there is a fight between America and China, honestly. And I believe that Americans will still make it through because the economy is fundamentally strong. The economy's fundamentals are not weak. If China disintegrates, I think everybody on planet Earth is going to enjoy the fun of it, except Pakistan. So if China disintegrates, it's in the interest of Bharat. I've been trying to explain this to a lot of people yesterday. In the interest of Bharat, America, Europe, Africa, Asia, those 50 debt-ridden countries, so our neighbors, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, everybody benefits from China breaking and balkanizing except Pakistan. So it's not a bad thing, but China knows this. And China will try to cause as much as damage it can to you before that event happens to them, which is going to happen ultimately.
Jayapuri Sankaracharya wants to know, Sumitji and IRG, what is your opinion on Trump's zero tax proposal in USA? What will be its effect on India and China?
Sir, you have to answer this first.
It's revolutionary. Somebody had told me that 45% of the United States tax base comes from personal income tax. The moment your child turns 18, they have to pay taxes, and usually they start filing their own taxes. There are some provisions where you can take them as your dependent and file. If they are staying with you, there are some requirements. They have to stay with you for more than so many days in a year and all that stuff. So chances are that, in America, culture is like this. The kids are waiting to get out of the house. The moment high school is over, they want to go somewhere to go study. They don't like to go to the local university, which is probably one of the best. See, I live in Bay Area. Stanford is driving distance. Berkeley is driving distance. Santa Clara is driving distance. San Jose State, which is very, very close to my kids, don't want there. They want to go somewhere else. It's okay. So the point I'm trying to make is that everybody has to pay taxes. If you take away the tax base, then where are you going to fill up that void? It is going to improve the industry in United States by leaps and bounds. Because what will happen is, if I don't have to pay taxes, the differential between manufacturing a product in China, shipping it from there, and then distributing it in US, so there is a manufacturing cost, there is a shipping cost, right? Now, in US, what happens is, right now there's also a US tax that you have to pay on a product. You take away this, the shipping cost goes away almost to nothing. Suddenly, you can manufacture some of these things in the US and sell them in the US, and guess what? You don't have to pay taxes, personal taxes. Corporate taxes have always been around 15-18%. It will be a huge game changer.
Correct.
Huge game changer. And that will be actually a bad news for both India and China, because much of the intermediate products, I'll give you an example of an intermediate product. Apple iPhone, for example, right? Apple iPhone, the more expensive components of those, the starting material, they are being sourced from the West. Okay, so the screen, which is supposed to be called Gorilla Glass, the screen, right? You can actually scratch on it with nails, and it will still not scratch. That's why it's called Gorilla Glass. So some of that stuff is actually made in the United States itself. There's a company called Corning that does that. So the cost also goes down. So iPhone-like products, all those things can be manufactured in the US and distributed here. And if they want even more savings, they can take it across the border in Mexico, Guadalajara area, that is Baja California, wonderful manufacturing facilities. Ciudad Juarez, which is near in Texas, border of Texas, another good manufacturing place. Mexico has actually developed to a fair amount. They are more prosperous now than what you see, you hear about, in like Wild Wild West movies. It's not like that anymore. So this would make a huge difference.
Correct.
Like, I would like to take up some products to manufacture here and make money. It is if you control the cash flow and you control the inventory, and if you have a good site to sell it, Amazon also will take a hit. I would not want to sell anything that I make on Amazon. I've already decided that even my ebooks are not being sold on Amazon. My new ebooks are only available on 𝗤𝗖𝗎𝗏.com, because our reader is, in my opinion, better than the reader that you get on Kindle. Just download the latest version of PGurus Sree Iyer app, and you will be able to get the books. You can continue reading your books there. You will understand how much better the quality is. So what I'm trying to say is, this is a huge game changer. Next one, please. Correct. It will also force countries like India and China also to cut their income taxes.
I wanted to add one single sentence to it.
Yeah.
What Sree said, a lot of people, when our budget was out, I told you on PGurus as well, a lot of people are saying, hey, Sumitji, we are service class. What is happening about tax? Why you are not cutting the tax? I told Baba, look at the receivables of the government. I think hardly not even 1% people in India pay income tax. But the maximum biggest component of receivables in the government of India is 17% that comes from income tax. Income tax in India, which is paid by less than 1% of the people, is more than the corporate tax, which is paid in a $4 trillion economy. Can you believe this?
Right.
Reality.
Next one, please.
Yes, she has.
Yeah. Let's skip to the next question. We've already taken this question and answered it. Next one, please. Ammi ho ya beti, bakri ho ya murda, all halal. Thank you so much, sir. The real powers of the world switch religions in terms of reset. So Islam in Europe, Christianity in Middle East, communism in US in coming years.
No, I don't believe this. You see, the question here is that, you have to go believe in Sanat anyways. Why are we even told, if you have this much of rice left in your plate, we are told not to waste it. We are told to only take food what you need. Like me, Sree Iyer ji and all, we only buy what we need, right? We are not the people, even if you give us $1 billion, we are not going to splurge our money. We are not going to throw our money. No, we are not going to buy any yachts. We are not going to buy any fancy cars. It will be what we are. In fact, a lot of our money will go to the good of the world, will go to the charity, will go to a lot of things which can help humanity and dharma. So, but if this thing doesn't prevail, if everybody becomes greedy and tries to siphon more and more money, we all forget one thing. Where does everything come from what you get? It comes from earth. Anything what you're consuming today comes from earth. And earth is controlled by Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi has come from the Kullas of Daityas. Daityas were controlling the earth. Earth never gives in anything easily. And if it gives in something easily, it will take back with a pound of flesh. And you all forget one thing. At the end of the day, we are all going to be part of the earth only. Right? It doesn't matter, they put us in a grave or do they burn us, whatever, we're going to become a part of earth. So if you start taking from earth your food, your gold, your platinum, your copper, your iron, what the hell you don't get from earth? Just take from earth as much as you need. If you take, there will be balance in the world. But if you start exploiting the earth, and I know there are people who have these golden WCs, for shitting. That is where you really start exploiting and disturbing the balance of 5 elements which are described in Sanatana Dharma. And when the balance of 5 elements is disrupted, there's only death, destruction, and wars. I'm giving you a very deep thing to understand. I can't explain it in better than in this 1 minute. But if you really go and think deep into what I've told you, you will understand how the lot of greed and wars in the world can be controlled. Not by the change of religion. Especially Islam, I have my...
Next one, please. Vishnu Gopi wants to know, Sumit sir, what is going on in the IRCGC? Is it crumbling?
IRGC, look, these are suicidal regimes, brother. They don't expect them to crumble. They are only dead till the time they are not dead. By the way, I heard Khamenei has 2 sons. One is 55, another is 58 or something. Some infighting has started between them. If the old man passes away or he's eliminated, who takes one? Now, these regimes will not crumble. Look, even today, Hezbollah fires rockets. Even today, Hamas fires rockets. Even today, you find a new Hamas channel. Even today, they are trying to do what they're best at. It is like, do you know Dutch termites? When you do a termite treatment at the home, you have to do it multiple times. Even if 5 are left, they will multiply again. They will make a colony. So usually the termite guys will say, sir, I will come every month for next 6 months. So after 6 months of... you are sure the termites are gone. And even after that time, you have to change the wood. So even after 6 months, there's no guarantee. So don't expect them to crumble. Huh? They believe in life after death. They are not anyway interested in this life. So they are in an express mode to go and meet their creator. All Israelis are only facilitating.
Next one, please. Chaitanya Takle says, I saw a lot of blue-collar workers in Muscat airport yesterday. Is that a part of Pakistan's beggar jihad?
It can be. And, I'll tell you my experience, Chaitanya ji, around 10 years back or so. I used to go to this Oman, right? And Oman, we had some work in Oman till. So I remember once we came back and there was an Air India flight which will land 2:30 in Delhi. So, the people who were traveling mostly in that aircraft were all blue-collar workers, 90% of them. And I have seen our Air India, it used to be Air India that point of time, and then, they will say, Arey madam, ek aur de do. The alcohol was not even in glass, it was the small bottle. Arey ma'am, ek aur de do. Chup chavat, nahi to yahi utar dungi. I said, what? 32 to yahi utar dungi. So that is how it is. But, usually there's a lot of blue-collar workers which work there. But Pakistanis anywhere is a sign of trouble. They are white termites. And, what do they do to the wood? So it's for the Omanis to figure out what they're doing. And let me remind you, Chaitanya ji, one of the biggest chunk of Baloch population lives in Oman after Pakistan.
Next one, please. 𝗤𝙗𝙀𝗫𝗀𝘀 𝗤𝙗𝙀𝗀 wants to know, do you foresee a regime change in Iran? Could this be the reason for India's soft corner for Iran?
Honestly, sir, I don't see a regime change in Iran till the time Khamenei and his two sons are alive and kicking. Point number two, India's soft corner for Iran, again, it is beyond my any logical comprehension. I try to put all kinds of logics, even some flawed logics to it, but still my PC crashes. I have this processor which is up in smoke. I can't think. God knows, or there's something which I can't see.
Next one, please. Maulana 𝗠şihuddin 𝗔𝙜𝗀𝘀. The UAE also has some stakes in Aramco, right?
I believe so, but majority of the stakes are between American and Saudis. I'm not sure on the UAE part, but it's basically between Americans and Saudis.
Next one, please. Meghna Agrawal wants to know, kindly comment on how the dynamics war situation in the Middle East would differ if either Trump or Kamala is elected post 5th November. Considering Trump is anti-war, Kamala is an Illuminati member.
Well, Meghna ji, there are two things. Look, if Trump comes, he is a pragmatic leader. He will not want these wars to continue. And I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday, I read somewhere that Putin says that once Trump is elected, I'll talk to him to stop the war. I mean, this is what I've been telling you, because if you have to stop the war, the Putin has to talk to a Trump or Kamala, whoever is in the power. Anybody in between will not make a difference. Talking to Zelensky is a waste of time. So that's point number one. Now, what happens is, if Kamala is in power, it is Obama 4.0. Obama 4.0 means it is advantage to the Muslim world. It is patronization of terror. It is deep states run. It is all these jihadi organizations will celebrate another Eid that day, and they think they are back in power. Look what happened. I was trying to make an inference today. Why is it after Umar Abdullah took the CM of J&K, the quantum of violence increased? I'm not saying Umar has done anything, but people get those inferences, people get those illusions or whatever. So if Trump comes, he will try to stop these wars. But Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu are even on one point. That is, Iran's nuclear capability has to be dismantled, come what may. So we don't know which way the war goes. And what Iran will try to do, they will try to be silent for next 10 days. From today to the polling date in United States of America. But Khamenei's patience is running down. He will activate a few proxies. But in the meanwhile, if Israelis pull a quick one, don't be surprised. The only thing predictable about Benjamin Netanyahu is he's highly unpredictable. That is what I can tell you. Don't think he has done with his attack. I've told you it is phase 1, part A. I'm not going to talk of phase 2 and 3. Phase 1, part A, part B, and then you go to phase 2, part B. So it was only phase 1, part A. He is planning something. Let's wait and watch how it goes.
Next one, please. Nunu Butter Masala wants to know, Sumitji, if Iran develops and tests a nuclear bomb, officially confirming it, how might the US, Israel, and Saudi Arabia respond to Iran's actions?
Look, it's a very good question, I must say. Look, Iran will not announce a bomb because that will give Mossad and America a legitimate license to decimate everything which is nuclear in Iran. So what they will do is they will indirectly kind of hint at getting that. They will want to use the scare of the bomb more than the bomb itself. And so these, as far as MBS is concerned, he has officially said if they get a bomb, we have to get a bomb anyway. So suddenly the markets in Pakistan will be burning. Why not literally burning? Because the money which can come into Pakistan for the technology is enormously high. That is why I always tell to my friends in Israel, one-to-one or through this broadcast or whatever, you have to take care of Pakistan and Pakistan's nuclear capabilities, because the only country which can give nuclear bomb or nuclear designs to anybody in the Middle East is Pakistan, and there is a route wherein they have a border with Iran, so to be very careful. I think even a slightest hint of that will legitimize Israel's direct hit on Pakistan on Iran's nuclear arsenal. It will be a Chernobyl kind of a situation, but unfortunately, if Khomeini wants that to happen, he wants a Chernobyl to reoccur in Iran, it will be Khomeini's debacle and he'll be responsible for it, not Israel or America.
Next one, please. Santosh Sivan wants to know, IRG, who is leading in US election, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? Santoshji, if everything is done correctly, Trump will win comfortably. Next one. Kusharan Keshavji wants to know, Democratic Party will not be taking a chance of bringing new regime before elections for the fear that they may burn their fingers like in Afghanistan. Your views? Kusharanji, Kamala Harris is running out of bullets. People are not listening to her. See, she's making unforced errors. By that, what I mean is that she's in conversation with CNN. She's in conversation with, she goes to a barber shop. Even there, people are making fun of her. See, sometimes what happens is once a perception is made up, then anything you do, people will start, making fun of you. It's really sad. I don't think she's as bad as being made out to be. Unfortunately, this is her own making. As a vice president, when she started, when she was appointed the czar of the border, she should have done some work. See, the problem is simple, one question that she's not able to answer. This was where it was found that she doesn't really know what to say, because the prepping is only like, if they ask this question, you answer this way. That means it doesn't matter what question is, you just give this answer. Like that, answers were given to her. So what happened was, one question that was asked in the only debate that took place between Trump and Kamala, the one question that was asked is, are you better off today than 4 years ago? Trump had a very clear answer. And you know what Kamala Harris said? Well, I am from the middle class.
Family.
That's not the question. She lost it right there.
Sir, it's like Rahul Gandhi's woman empowerment. You remember that interview? Everything was woman empowerment. What to say? Now, I have just one thing to add here. You see, everybody, even look at Putin. Putin said, "What do you think about Kamala Harris?" "Oh, I love her infectious smile." And Putin was very sarcastic here. And this is the perception of the leaders here. Look, Barakat Hussain Obama, you cannot create puppets all the time. Next time, work on the quality of the puppets. Don't import them from China.
Next one, please. Shashi Bhushan wants to know, sir, Angola has put a ban on peaceful religion. Can we expect crowd reduction to Jannat in coming times?
No, Shashi Bhushan ji, that doesn't happen because there's an overcrowding there happening. Don't forget there's a still war going on in the Middle East. And there are people like Khamenei who are the booking specialists on earth. They will ensure a lot of people go there. And I hope that something happens there. The unfortunate part of the Islamic world is today, nobody dares to open their mouth. Nobody will talk the right things. Not even the people who are in echelons of power will directly try to do some things. This is something which is killing this religion and which is very bad for the religion. And the image religion has made for itself is because of these things, because most of the people, though 99% of the people never speak up. There's only a handful of jihadis and mullahs and Maulvis who have become the custodians of the religion and they interpret it the way they want. But my problem is if 99% of the people don't speak, that is what other so-called kafirs or infidels will believe the truth is.
Next one, please. Jyotindra Kulkarni wants to know, Sree sir, this is for you. It's evident that US is increasing its debt every day by 100 million. How will Trump help in reducing this if he comes to power? Jyotindra ji, one of the things that needs to happen is the reliance of US on other countries. So US needs to produce more internally. How do you make US to produce more internally? You incentivize them. How do you incentivize them? Well, one option is zero personal income taxes. That would incentivize US greatly. A lot of people now who are basically, there used to be always a good blue collar. Blue collar has actually gotten itself pushed out of the market, labor market, and those people will get incentivized. And there are many ways to do this, where what happens is the creation of printing new notes gets consumed within United States, not go outside. If something like that can be devised, then what happens is US begins to find that for new ideas or even an existing idea where the product is currently being manufactured in China or in India, like for example the iPhone, Apple will be able to make it here itself. They'll of course not do it themselves, they'll give it to subcontractors, but those subcontractors will be right here in the United States. So what happens is, slowly but steadily, the money that's being spent will go down. And like I said, $100,000 a second is how the debt is going up. 1,000, 100,000, $1 lakh, $2 lakh, $3 lakh, like that it's going up. Part of that money is going free to the illegals. And for the last 2-3 months, the border is sealed. For the last 2-3 months, the border will be unsealed if Kamala wins on 5th November. But it will remain sealed if Trump comes back, even through transition, because there is a transition government which will take place. And after that, after 5th November, basically Biden will only be sitting. He'll be, he will not be able to do much serious action. The transition team will be the one doing all the calls. So there will be something put in place. US may take an easy way out in terms of expelling the illegals, which is you just drive them to the nearest spot on the border and tell them, you came from wherever, I don't care, you go outside, and then you figure out a way to get back. That is the easiest way to do it, because anywhere in the border, right, unless they go and disappear in the forests of northern US, they're all in cities, and those cities are not very far from the border. Pick them up and just go to the border and just make sure that they don't come back. You have to fortify the borders first and then do that. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, so 2 points here. Just an update. One is that if you want to really do something, US has a $670 billion trade deficit with China.
Right.
One thing is straight on the
yeah.
8 trillion. See the 8 trillion. It's going to a trillion. 1 trillion you can straight was shook. Imagine a trillion going to US people. What a kind of wealth it can create within US. Today you are helping the CCP. If I am Trump, the first thing I'm going to cut is to cut this $1 trillion going to China. Second thing is that I was reading yesterday, Sree sir, that people in Germany, people in Europe and in Switzerland, they have started giving a price. Take this $10,000, take this $20,000, go back to your country. Once for good, settlement. This is not a bad deal. Rather than burning money on them, some 5-10K, put them in a plane and, whatever. Or there is one more thing which Saudi Arabia does. You know what is Saudi Arabia policy? 0 debt, 0 score. A lot of people ask me, what is that? Last time there were a couple of boats which were approaching Saudi Arabia. You know what they did? They simply fired on the boats. Gone. No kharcha. There's no expense. No record. No expense, no record.
BTH.
One is DTH, this is BTH.
Thank you so much, Denver. My question is, why did Israel not take out the airbase of Iran, that is their aircraft fleet? It would render them as a nation without an air force. It's a proportionate response. Okay, please, over to you. Yeah.
It's a proportionate response, first of all. Second thing, again, brother or sister, I don't know, I can't make from Denver. The idea is not to hit Iran. Idea is only to poke Iran to hit Israel or anybody back, which gives them a license to kill. Because America has been very, very concerned. Anthony Blinken is literally burning midnight. Please don't hit Iran hard. I don't know who wants to protect the nuclear assets of Iran in Democrats. Which Democrat has got what in the nuclear assets of Iran? And as I told you one thing, you're forgetting, my brother. When Hezbollah vaults, those vaults those bunkers are destroyed and the vaults inside bunkers are destroyed. I told you a lot of people in the world are getting it. They're getting this itches on their skin, and including some people in India. So understand, when money and gold gets burned, a lot of things change in the world. Sir, you want to add something?
No, thank you. We're done with that one. Let's go to the next question. 𝗤𝙗𝙖𝙪 बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you so much. Will India ever be inspired to tackling the minority issue and conversion mafia? Read a piece in Op India. Will Israel inspire India, our neighbors?
I think there is time that India has to really get cracking. I think today I was reading Hemant Biswa Sarma ji, where he said that in Jharkhand we'll do an NRC and we'll throw all the illegals out. I think that is the voice which has to resonate everywhere, because we have a problem of illegal immigrants and we have a problem of a lot of problems we have brewing under our belly. Unfortunately, what Jahangir ji rightly says, that we wait for the weather to change, but there's not going to be a weather change. You are supposed to do what you're supposed to do, and this kid gloves approach is not helping. And honestly, we have a lot of undercurrents brewing.
Yes, yes. Well, that brings us to a close of today's program. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining and asking questions. Please do leave your comments on how you like this program. And Sumitji, thank you so much, and we'll be seeing you again tomorrow. Namaskar. Program in Hindi, 9 o'clock.
On that note, sir, namaskaram and sadhuvat to all. Please like, share, and subscribe this video. And we'll try to do our best at PGurus channel to bring you up the latest things. A lot of people complimented me that PGurus is always ahead of the curve. So thank you to all of you. On that note, with that pleasing words, Bharat Mata ki jai, Vande Mataram. Hara 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 Mahadev.
Mahadev.